Good morning, I'm Paul Watson with Human Signs. Today we're going to talk about promotional items. And a great starting point is there's at least 2 million items, literally. Our website has 500,000 items, and then we have a search engine for another million plus. So there's no shortage of items. But what really makes a great promotional item? Well, it's got to fit your budget. And it's got to be something that the end user will keep or remember. To pass it out and have no recall or interest in it kind of causes the advertising portion of it to fail. As we know, when you do newspaper advertising or other media, in spite of the amount of people you reach, there's a very small portion of that that becomes the market. The good thing about promotional items, it's very easy to find them. Well, you can find them on our website, which is www.humansignsllc.com, and click on promotional items. But the great thing about interactive sites is if you have your logo, you can go on the site, pick the item, upload the logo, and actually see what the product looks like, which is a real convenience. But there's also a never-ending amount of items, whether they're printed or engraved or painted. They're just endless. So we're going to go through some of the items that fall into that category, and they suit no immediate purpose. In other words, it's not a theme or anything else. This is kind of a cute little container. Its real purpose in life, other than somebody with a lot more money and a better logo than most of us, ordered it. But it's for golf tees. Keeping track of them. And you know, there are people who are interested in hand sanitizer. That's actually a giveaway. We'll pass it around. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is a helicopter. And it really will go up in the air, but it's probably not a good idea to use it inside. But it does go up. But the, you know, it just depends on the venue you're at and who you're trying to reach. The helicopter works great at air shows, such as the one that they just had up in Charlotte County. And then this is a fairly inexpensive, actually, item compared with the classes on it. It's as some people may remember from their childhood, the Balsa Wood airplanes, and you know, it's of course, it'd be good if I got it put together right. But essentially, that, and it's imprinted. The Forest Service used these. They used them up at the air show. But it's a really inexpensive, and the kids will remember this, and it'll break one day, but for the most part, they'll get to play with it. But a lot of the items you go through, believe it or not, sunscreen. So for outdoor events, if you're a vendor or a participant, this type of product works pretty well. And most of them are fairly inexpensive. The ever popular lens cleaner, this happened to be one that Old Navy was fond of. But all those items work, and the interesting part, they're retained. You know, most people will keep the dispensers and they'll keep the lens cleaners, so the product lives on. Thing with pens, which there's a million of them, I mean, they all write. The key is, pens are fairly inexpensive. The trick is trying to make sure that you get one that will stay writing. There's a million vendors for the product. Most of the pens we use are from Bic because they pretty much historically have a great track record for just writing. There's nothing worse than getting a pen and being halfway through your name, signing a check or signing something else, and have the ink die off on you. And that's something you don't see very often with BIC. One of the other items that's been fairly hot are USB drives or flash drives. They come in every shape known to mankind. They also come in with bamboo, which is a product that's usually laser engraved. Now this is a USB or a jump drive, and you turn it and the drive comes out. And these were custom produced for Spiro and Associates. They're a Fort Myers advertising public relations firm, and ironically that is the logo, but when we cast these, they actually match the Pantone color in the plastic rather than painting them. So it's really a pretty cool product. And the good news is, as you see on the retail pricing on flash drives, the prices have come down, so the promotional items also come down. You know, if you go back a year and a half, to get 1 gig was a very expensive product, and that's not the case any longer. As I was saying earlier, you know, it starts out, sure, there we go. It starts out as products are either printed, engraved, or whatever. So here's a cup, and here's a logo, and you may notice the logo.
Oh, I do.
And so that was actually something we engraved with the laser into the leatherette product. And a lot of the products now you see that are leather-like, or even leather in some cases, are laser engraved rather than stamped. So if you go back a little bit in time, you would have had to take this and get a die for it, which is like $150 to stamp your logo in it, and you'd only get it on one side in most probability. Well, in this case, we were able to laser it, and we're able to do it on both sides. That's available for purchase after.
On these sanitizers, different scents?
Yes.
You can get them?
So we'll move along to some of the, there's a never-ending list of sunscreen. You had it in a packet, now you get it in the spray can. Yeah, it's a pump. So, I mean, the items are all available, they're readily available. Going in now to the end of the year, a lot of the stuff you see is calendars, cards. There's a never-ending supply of cards. You know, whether it's and then gold on the inside with your message and identification. The interesting thing is, because everybody wants to get ahead of the curve, this is the time that they're putting all the incentives, 50% off and all that type of stuff, to get the orders in the next 15 days to save them from getting jammed up at the end of the year. So with that, there's a lot of edible items, and in our the products we distribute M&Ms. The interesting thing is, M&Ms that you buy on the street are not exactly as the same ones you custom vend, because you can get metallic colors, which is a significant difference from the retail product. And you can put your picture on it. Maybe that's a good idea, maybe it's a bad, I don't know, your logo on the other side, but it is available. Fairly fast turnaround. We also distribute Godiva, both in pre-packs and custom packs. And we have 3 different chocolate manufacturers that will put your logo into the chocolates when you receive them. So it's a fairly significant amount of product now. There's a company called Funky Chunky that we've done some business with, and we'll stack this on one on each side. And I'm sure there are no calories or sugar in this in any shape, form, or manner. So there's one of them is caramel sea salt on that side, and that is peanut butter running that way. But those products are available in both bulk packaging, individual packaging, and gift box type packaging. So it's something that works out pretty well. A lot of the products that we do now, a laser, which is convenient since we have a laser, So some of the products you see is like buildings, and you can do this with photos. This actually came from a photo, and a lot of it gets done on metal. Etches it in. Usually it's coated and etched, and then it ends up as black. But the promotional items, that allows promo products to be customized on variable data, which is something generally in the past that hasn't been done because it's always some sort of hard stamping and massive changeover versus a simple file change when it feeds to the equipment. Let's see. One of the items that gets a lot of lasering is glass, whether it's wine or beer mugs, that type of thing. Or any questions?